We've all been there. Sitting in a restaurant, you try to order a nice, ice cold glass of Pepsi, but the waiter looks up from his notepad and says, "Is Coke okay?" A question that always infuriates me. No, Coke is not okay. Now, I'm not here to stand up here and criticize your favorite beverage choice, but as someone who's had an unhealthy love for Pepsi and most of their products for much of his life, I feel like I'm just the man for the job to inform you about the company that brings us many of our most favorite things, the Pepsi Company. The Pepsi Company is a cultural mainstay that brings us many of our most favorite products. It is a company with a very fascinating history, a wide range of many different products, and a very strong yearly revenue earnings. Now, the Pepsi Company has a very rich and fascinating history. The Pepsi Company was founded in 1965, but Pepsi was not the only big-name product involved in the founding of the company. You see, according to their official website, in 1965, Donald Kendall, the CEO of Pepsi, and Herman Lay, the CEO of Frito-Lay, recognized what they called a match made in heaven. One single company delivering perfectly salted snacks alongside the best cola on earth. This vision would go on to become one of the world's biggest food and beverage distributors in the world, the Pepsi Company. They released Doritos in 1966, which would eventually grow to be the most popular tortilla chip in the United States. That's just one of the many brands that the Pepsi Company has released, more of which you will find out later. Now, despite PepsiCo being founded in 1965, the company's namesake, Pepsi-Cola, was created much, much earlier. According to the Pepsi store, Caleb Davis Bradham, a man who owned and operated a small liquor store in New Bern, North Carolina, invented Pepsi-Cola in 1893, originally calling it Brad's Drink. It was made of a mixture of sugar, water, caramel, lemon oil, nutmeg, and other natural additives. Now, despite the name, it doesn't actually include any pepsin in the recipe. It quickly became a local sensation, and on August 2nd, 1898, Bradham changed the name to Pepsi-Cola, which I'm sure we're all very thankful for. He thought the drink was a much more than a refreshment, but a healthier cola option, aiding in digestion, getting its name from the word dyspepsia. Now, with its rich history has come a wide range of products and restaurants that you will most likely recognize. PepsiCo owns many of the brands that you will most likely enjoy in your everyday life. With the Frito-Lay merger, PepsiCo owns all of their products, which include Doritos, Fritos, Lay's potato chips, rolled gold pretzels, Cheetos, Ruffles, and Tostino's tortilla chips. Surely we've all enjoyed one of those snacks in recent memories. I know that I have. But to add more healthy products, PepsiCo acquired the Tropicana and Dole juice brands in 1998, and in 2001 merged it with the Quaker Oats company to make the new division, Quaker Foods and Beverages. Now, who knew that the oatmeal you eat every day in the morning was made by a company you think just makes soda? It's crazy. Now, with this merger, PepsiCo's most popular brands include Pepsi products such as Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Mug Root Beer and Sierra Mist, Aquafina Water, Lipton Teas, Tropicana Juices, and Gatorade Sports Drinks and Quaker Oats Cereal, and that is in accordance to Encyclopedia Britannica. Now, you've likely eaten at a restaurant and not even realized that it was owned by PepsiCo. According to their official website, Yum Brands is owned by PepsiCo. Now, you might be confused as to what Yum Brands is. But you may have noticed that at some point in your life that it's quite popular for a Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut restaurant all to be merged into one. Why is this, you may ask? Well, you see, in 1977, PepsiCo acquired Pizza Hut Incorporated. Then in 1978, they acquired Taco Bell, and in 1986, they purchased Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then in 1997, rather than have 3 separate locations, which would lead to 3 times the costs, PepsiCo elected to merge the 3 and spin it off as Tricon Global Restaurants Incorporated, which would eventually go on to become Yum! Brands. Now, the popularity of their numerous brands has led to consistently strong yearly earnings throughout PepsiCo's history. PepsiCo has consistently been one of the top 3 food and beverage distributors in the world. According to Food Engineering, in 2019, PepsiCo was ranked as the number 2 food and beverage distributor in the world, trailing only Nestle and 7 spots ahead of their biggest competitor, the Coca-Cola Company. Their yearly sales totals are around $65 billion a year. 2019's yearly sales totals were up nearly $2 billion from the previous year, but they're always routinely in that area. And according to Yahoo Finance, PepsiCo is one of the most valuable food and beverage stocks on the market. PepsiCo stock is currently selling at $1.35 at $135.58 a share, but it's down 1.45% currently. Now, the stock of PepsiCo has risen significantly since it became a publicly traded company on September 1st, 1972, where it started at around $1.60 a share. As one of the most valuable brands in the world, it's easy to see why Pepsi is always the way to go when choosing your foods and beverages. The PepsiCo is an international food and beverage corporation that started out as a small drugstore operation in the early 20th century to become one of the biggest food and beverage companies in the world. The Pepsi Company is a cultural mainstay that produces many of the foods and beverages that we all know and love. It is a company with very rich and fascinating history, a wide range of many different products, and very strong yearly revenue earnings. So next time you're determining what soda or snack you want to get out of the vending machine, you're never wrong when you pick Pepsi. Thank you.